Shalom Yashrala, this is your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here lesson, which is going into a lot of these different news events that's going on. So let's start here in 2nd Ezra 9:1. It says, and he answered me, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And so, hey, looking at these things, we should be measuring the times diligently in itself. All right, based off of what? The prophecies. All right, let's grab a precept off of that real quick. Because, you have a lot of these, especially now, let me see, 19 and 10. Yep. So, right now you have a lot of, Jake this just now coming into this here truth. All right. And, you see a lot of these different narratives that's being pushed from a lot of these so-called new teachers, which, the longer you listen to these people, even from the day one, seeing, the doctrines that they're pushing. All right. You could tell that, either A, they don't have obviously they don't have the 100% truth, but, going into a lot of the things that they're pushing, we know that the fact of the matter that, they've either been set up, all right, or they just don't know, they're not fully grounded in this here thing, all right, because, looking at the importance of what we should be learning and teaching is what? Prophecy, man. All right, how can you measure the time diligently in itself when you don't have the proper measuring tool, man? Somebody gives you a blueprint to a building or a blueprint to something that you're supposed to build, and you don't know the measurement, the how do you say, the scale of how you're supposed to be measuring. You don't know if it's feet or if it's centimeters or if it's inches. All right, so you're going to be all the way off. All right, but getting still, you have these people that are leading our people astray, and you have other things, even going into trying to find out who we are as Israelites. You're going into everything else but prophecy, man. All right, so we know that. Let's read this here. It says, Revelation 19:10, it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see that thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. Right? So the spirit of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So we know, obviously, if you're not speaking in the spirit of, or speaking the spirit of prophecy, in the spirit of prophecy, we know that you don't have the spirit of Yahushua on you, man. All right, so how is it that you over here speaking that you in the truth and you got this and you got that, when and in reality, you don't have the spirit of Yahushua on you, man? You're not even speaking of prophecy. You just speak about all this other stuff and science this and science that and this and that and all these different things, but yet and still, you're not speaking prophecy. All right, this is our measuring stick of all these things that's coming to pass and everything that's coming down the pipeline, as far as the end, matter of fact, we can actually grab that here in a second, but matter of fact, let's just go back to it. Here we go. 2nd Ezra 9:1, he says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. When thou seest part of the signs past, which I told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it's the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we should be watching, all right, for these signs, all right? This is the measuring stick, man, the signs, all right? And what are the signs? The signs are part of the what? The vision. The vision is what? The prophecies. The prophecies are what? The things that was written aforetime, all right, written for our learning and our understanding, all right? Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time. Going into all these things, you got some people that's, freaking out. You see one little small thing and they start freaking out. Oh, it's the world about to end tonight. The world finna end. If you're old enough, you can remember what it was like. What was it? December 31st, 1999. You know what I'm saying? And coming up to those days, how people was freaking out and panicking, thinking that, hey, the world was just gonna spontaneously combust that night. The computers wasn't gonna turn over to the 2000. They had the Y2K effect. The computers wasn't going to turn over and everything was just going to shut down, and we was just all going, whatever was going to happen to us was going to happen to us. Everybody thought that, hey, the Y2K problem, like I said, if you're old enough to remember what the hell, how that time was, you would definitely know. You remember what life was like before that, the 95, 96, 97, everything was all good. But 1999 rolled around, and all of a sudden they thought that all hell was going to break loose. But, and I remember that time very vividly, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I didn't have no understanding of the truth, you know what I'm saying? No understanding of prophecy and nothing else like that. So, hey, I was caught up in the sauce as well, too, man. All right, I was, hey, everybody else saying it's about to end and shit. It's looking like that. Everybody panicking, and this is all in the news, and this is the sentiment that they pushing out. Well, shit, we all might be about to die. You know what I'm saying? They even had that one Prince song, which he actually made way before that, where it says, you know, we're gonna party like it's 1999, and you know they had it all in a lot of these different songs, you know, subliminally about these things. What was that? Uh, Bombs Over Baghdad and everything else like that. You know, they talk. In fact, the name of the song, Bombs Over Baghdad. You know, that song came out before 2001. But even at that point in time, like, you know, just certain things that was going on. Hey, you thought, hey, shit, just it's about to be it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you don't have that proper measuring tool, that proper measuring stick. You ain't gonna know nothing, man. Had we would have known, you know, or you know, I'm obviously men knew about it. I'm speaking for myself. Had I would have known, you know what I know now. You know, knowing about, hey, this got to be the MOTB has to be implemented. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, you know, actually, my father told me about that as a child. But again, I didn't have the understanding I have now. But had I would have fully understood that, you know what I'm saying, and World War III, the missiles and everything else like that, then I would have known, like, well, obviously we still have plenty more time to go. You know, we talking about this bad boy finna end next month, you know, on December 31st, and none of this here stuff has taken place yet. So, you know, you should be able to tell that these things aren't going to happen. So this is how people get caught, you know, unaware by not knowing about the measuring tool, the measuring stick, the scale that they're measuring off of. All right, but this is why we constantly go into what? Prophecy, man. When we do our videos and we speak on these things, what are we constantly going into? Prophecies, 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 prophecies. Because why? That's still going to be the measuring stick. The whole point is for what? The elect to be sealed and for them to repent. All right, now, you know, you have try to give you an analogy. If you know when, let's just say, for instance, you got a NASCAR race or something like that, right? And you don't know, now imagine you going around a damn track. Now, your NASCAR, you got a couple different things going on. You got the tires going bald. You got your damn, and to keep it easy, you know, the tires going bald and your car running out of gas, right? That's the inevitable. Those two things is going to be happening the whole damn time you racing. Now, you got a pit crew. You can go and stop and make a pit. But now, you don't know when the damn race is going to end. Now, you got a quarter tank of gas left, right? Now, either your mom said, do I just keep pushing it? Am I going to run out of gas? You know what I'm saying? I'm right here in first place. These people are right here behind me now. If I stop, or if I don't stop, you know, I'm going to run out of gas and then I'm shit out of luck. You know what I'm saying? We got 50 more laps to go. I damn sure ain't got enough gas to make those 50 more laps. So I might as well go ahead and make a pit stop now and be all good. All right. Or do I just sit here and keep pushing? All right. Because we only got a half a lap left. All right. I got plenty of gas left to make this here half a lap. I only got 100 more feet to go. If I take a pit stop now, everybody going to pass me. I'm going to get a pit stop. I'll be full on gas and have fresh new tires, but I wouldn't need that. The race is over right here and there. All right. So, you know, that's the importance of being able to measure the times diligently in itself, man. All right. You got, you know, a gas gauge in your car telling you how much gas you got. You can see how much more tire you got, but then how much more of measuring the length of the race left. All right. You don't want to try to so-called pull out of the race too soon. And it's like, look, bro, you had enough gas to finish off the race. All right. So, hey, you know, you have to make sure you have the proper measuring tool with this here, measuring the the times that we're living in, and it's based off of what? Prophecies. But I wanted to jump into some of these prophecies that's that's kind of in the news right about now. Some of these lesser, some of these prophecies is getting lesser how do I say, lesser attention right now, because you know you got the famine of the word, you know, with the Kyrie and Kanye situation, the persecution of the saints going on. All right, the big setup, you know, people being led astray, also with a lot of these doctrines and things like that. You know, you also have the wars and the rumors of wars that's popping off majorly right about now. All right, the MOTB, you know, going hand in hand with this economic collapse. So all these things is going on, but you also have other ones. So let's go back to 2 Ezra 9:1. It says, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I told thee before, then thou shalt understand it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and the end is manifest. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. So going into this, you know, the Most High has plain. It's just to make it obvious. You know what I'm saying? Make it clear to you. Hey, the Most High gonna make it obvious and make it clear to you. Like, bro, there's gonna be no excuse. All right, you gonna see, just like when a woman is about to give birth, man. It's clear and obvious that she going into labor. All right, not just because of the because you could say, oh, she's so-called having contractions and things like that. She's in pain, and you don't know if this pain is her going into labor or her just having some gas or something she didn't ate. Well, shit, you gonna have one big major sign. All right, that baby gonna come like a flood, man. Her water gonna break, man. That's gonna be your big first major sign. All right, so hey, this is what like the same thing is going on here, man. All right, you have multiple different signs of multiple different. It's not just one sign. You got multiple different signs that these things is coming to pass. All right, but I wanted to go back up to where it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Now we've been seeing all these uproars of the people in the world from the different corrupt government protests. All right, you've seen the Black Lives Matter protests. All right, you've been seeing all kinds of different protests going on around the globe. For the last so many years, man. All right, but then also it says then there should be seen earthquakes. All right, let me go over here to Matthew 24 real quick. Matthew 24 and we'll start at 3. All right, because it says measure the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I told you before. Right, Matthew 24 and 3, it says, and he sat upon the Mount of Olives. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? So they're asking about the sign. All right, the sign of the Lord's coming. All right, they're asking for something to be able to, to show them forth of these things, right? Verse 4 says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And we have a lot of people, even in this time right about now, which are spreading forth that they're the leaders and the teachers of Israel and misleading our people. Oh, there is no MOTB, or there is no chariots, there is no nukes, flea doctrine. Go back to Africa. We Africans and things like that, man, leading us astray, man. And this is what this here new wave of showing forth Israel is, trying to hijack the narrative, because you got so many jakes that's waking up. Now we got to try to steer them away, steer them, because what's the point of, you could tell all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that you Israelites, all right, but then now you teaching them that the name of the Lord is I don't know, whatever, you teaching them that, let's just say you say the name of the Lord is whatever, Jesus and Yahweh and Jesus, right? We'll say that, right? You teaching the people that. Now, when it comes time to calling on the name of the Lord, you calling on those names. Hey, the Lord's not gonna come for you, you know what I'm saying, and deliver you. You calling on those names, man. All right, so hey, we can see how it's easy that Esau comes and hijack the narrative with certain things, man, and lead our people astray. All right, but what the apostles have been out on the highways and the byways, teaching us here truth for 30 plus years, man. All right, and been gaining fruit, and then those men have been going out and laboring as well. All right, verse 6, and you should hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So, hey, and going into that, we've seen, with this whole Poland thing, all right, wars and rumors of wars, the Taiwan situation with China. All right, we've also seen the the Ukraine and the Russia situation is popping off. All right, we have all these different things, even with America and their own allies, and all these different things is taking place at this point in time. But yet and still, like the scriptures say, but the end is not yet. All right, all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, so we see that these things are shaping up and taking place and playing their role, as far as, just like you putting puzzle pieces together. All right, and you got these different puzzle pieces together. You got the corners, the edges, and everything else like that. But you got the majority of the puzzle together, but the whole puzzle ain't there yet. All right, verse 7: for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Now we have famines. All right, shortages of food, economic disparities. Look at what's going on in Europe right about now, man. All right, energy crisis, people can't afford anything. Inflation like skyrocketing, especially here in America as well too. All right, people with less and less. You got damn near half the population, almost half the population, 40-something% of the U.S. population unemployed right about now, man. All right, so hey, half of Americans ain't even working. All right, so hey, you got people that's being taken care of by the government or the rest of their little subsidies, and other Americans taking care of other Americans and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But yet, the majority of these Americans ain't really working out here, man. All right. So, hey, you got these famines and people can't even afford to get by. A lot of these families are moving in with other family members and things like that, man. All right. A lot of these holiday seasons ain't going to be so grand like they once were. You got the big, massive Christmas selling and Black Friday selling and Thanksgiving. Hey, a lot of people ain't doing that no more because they can't even afford regular groceries and stuff, let alone to go make this big ass meal, man. All right, so hey, you starting to see the decline of economics going on over here, which also plays into another role, but we'll get into that. It says in pestilence, which we see a lot of these different diseases and things popping off. You got articles talking about HIV is on a super rise. You got super STDs going out here, STDs spreading like crazy. Hey, look what you got what they call it, a hookup culture was what they call it. What's this shit called? Not TikTok. They got another little app where people be swiping on, be hooking up and everything else like that, man. All right, but getting still, you got a culture like this where you swiping left and swiping right on these people, and you hooking up with people every damn night of the week, man. You got these women that's out here so-called being sexually liberated, sleeping with as many people as they can, just spreading diseases, man. All right, and then you wonder why they say you know the so-called black woman is the number one in HIV and everything else like that. But these are the ones that's walking around for the most part talking about some of they queens. They sexually free to go do all these things. They just want to go get gang banged all the way out, man. All right, but look, this is where we at right now, man. You have to understand that we just around a bunch of damn demons, man. All right, which this lesson is gonna go a little bit into these things. But you see a lot of these people out here is just demons, man. You just have full-blown demons out here that's just completely taking over these people's bodies, man. Just doing straight up demonic ass shit, man. Seen a video the other day where this woman was talking about she done basically put somebody's some of her little side piece man juice into her ex-man's, whatever you call them, little cinnamon rolls type things, and fed this to this man. Hey, this is a straight demon, man. And then they asked why she didn't got chopped up or whatever. This dude and did something to her. Why he had to be all violent. Look what this demon did to him. All right, but this is the times that we living in, man. Well, we'll get down to that. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, and all these are the beginning of sorrows. Now, let me stop right here for a second. We're going to get back into, the other part of this here video because I wanted to grab some articles real quick, or just at least look at some articles real quick because we just read twice about these earthquakes in diverse places, right? So you got a strong quake shakes Turkey, all right? So you got one over here in Turkey, all right? An earthquake kills dozens in Indonesia, all right? An earthquake triggers tsunami in Solomon Islands, all right? So, hey, you have these different earthquakes that's taking place all over the globe right about now, man. All right, so you have prophecy taking place. Like I said, you got major prophecies and minor prophecies. While people are focusing on some of these major prophecies, they're just looking at one prophecy in itself. You got all these other prophecies that's taking place right about now, and this is going to be a difference of what people have going on in these like as we read in here. It says let's go back to verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places, and all these are the beginning of sorrows. And matter of fact, let me go back up to 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So this ain't to say that once you see this is the end. All these things are going to start boiling up and boiling over to bring in the end. And not just that, people say, well, we've always had these things. But look, you have all this on how they say of biblical proportion. All right, they're taking place like not only do you have famines going on, because we've always had famines, but you have famines going on also with uproars of the people. Not just people that's just protesting in your city, your state, or whatever at the school board meeting. No, this is uproars of the people in the world. Different cities, different states, different countries uproaring over different things all at the same time, man. All right, you got pestilence, not just one disease. You got multiple types of diseases running rampant all over the globe, man. All right, you just had the one big major one that everybody was all afraid of, which they say is making a comeback. But then you also got the flu, super flu or whatever it's called. Then you had the monkeypox is popping off. You got all kind of different things. What was it? I forgot what they had. This other one that was coming back. But anyway, you got all these different the STDs and all that stuff that's popping off, man. You got all these different things, these diseases and pestilences coming back on the earth right about now, man. All right, plaguing all these here people, man. All right, respiratory diseases and everything else like that, man. All right, people say, oh, this is all fake and all man-made up. Hey, whether it's man-made or man-induced from the things that you got going on, whether it be you swiping on the little Tinder, that's what it's called, Tinder. Swiping on the Tinder and hooking up day in and day out. You know what I'm saying? It's causing all these STD rises. Hey, you still out here doing it. You may be creating, but hey, you still out here doing these things, man. All right. But yet and still, these are all the signs of the times of the end. But guess what? These are the things that are the signs of the end, but it's happening, how you say, globally. All right, they're pushing these agendas globally. All right, these things are taking place. These are the signs of the end. But verse 8 says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Now, with all these things that's going forth, you can't go out to certain places. We don't know if it was a fear of an earthquake. You might have just woke up in a place where you was on vacation. There was a sudden earthquake out there. You try to travel, go on vacation, you got to worry about catching a plague or a pestilence out there, man. We don't know. We don't want to fly because, you might catch X, Y, and Z flying. We don't want to go over here and stay in this here hotel or get on this cruise ship because we might catch X, Y, and Z. So all these times, we don't want to go out to the club or a birthday party or whatever. We don't want to be around all these people because we might catch this or that. I don't want to go and hook up with these people because I might catch something from these here people. And you know what I'm saying? So you have all these different things that's going on. We got to watch our spending because, we don't know if we're going to have enough money for groceries later on. All these things are bringing to, the beginning of sorrows, bad times, all right? Verse 9, it says, and then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Going back to the Kanye Kyrie situation, Dave Chappelle made a good joke on that on SNL dialogue. He said, hey, Kanye done fucked up so damn bad, he done got in so much trouble that Kyrie got in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And this is, through the spirit, and maybe I'll do a video on that because he said a lot of stuff through the spirit that's basically prophecy, man. All right, so, hey, going into that, he said Kanye got into so much trouble that Kyrie got in trouble. So think about that. Them pairing the things that we're saying, all right, to these dear people. And then you seeing IUIC going out there and everything else like that. So, this here narrative to the untrained eye, people who don't know, they're going to just all of a sudden, you see, you hear about, there was a video the other day that went out of somebody that was talking, somebody that's not in the truth, right? But, they was doing a video on this and they was doing I forgot the name of the channel, but it was like a hip hop channel, right? And they was talking about how IUIC was protesting for Kyrie and everything else like that. And they was out there marching in front of the Barclays Center or something like that. All right. And he was saying, he was reading some of the comments and he was like, man, I'm hearing a lot of hate from our own people. And now, you can think about it. The majority of them people that's probably hating is all women. All right. Because they didn't came across the prophets. They didn't like how they talked to them before. They know something about this. And so now they're going to just jump on a bandwagon. We know how simple our people are. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to miss their own blessing all because of, they caught up in their emotions. Isaiah 30:9 speak about this. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us, prophesying to us smooth things, prophesying to us deceits. They rather hear that than hear the truth. All right. But going back into, being afflicted, all right, and being delivered up into, these the councils and things like that. We know that our own people are going to do this unto us. But looking at these things, they're going to associate certain things. Now they see the Kanye situation. That's a huge talking point. So everybody talking about this in the office and the family dinners and everything else like that. Now it's going to bring up that subject. Oh, you believe that, you into this, you believe that, now all of a sudden, the brother against the brother, the father against the children and so on and so forth, all these things are going to start, a lot of our people that are just, like Isaiah 30:9 goes into, they don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear the smooth things. They're not even going to look into any of these things. They're going to just equate this with that and just keep it pushing, man. All right. They hear the other side of these things, the paid off coons of our people like the Shaqs and everybody else. Oh, these guys are idiots. They're going to just run with that. And that's just going to be the end all be all, man. All right. So then from there, they're going to wind up equating, like Dave Chappelle said, Kanye got into so much trouble, Kyrie got into trouble. So now they have these guys as the scapegoats out in the media. They ain't got in trouble for, being condemned for saying certain things. Automatically is going to condemn you for what you believe and what you say, man. So we know that these are the times that we're coming into where we're about to be afflicted and persecuted for these things. It says, verse 10, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And many false prophets, let's just deal with 11 first real quick. It says, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Like we were just speaking with, a lot of these different people that's coming into the picture right about now with these documentaries and things like that, and these new channels talking about who we are. And seeing two different people besides the guy who made the documentary. There's another guy talking some, what is it, go black to Africa or something like that, talking about who we are and putting up certain videos, but then telling our people to go back to Africa where we're not even from Africa, man. All right, yeah, we got on the slave ships from Africa, but that's not where we originated from. All right, we're from the land of Israel. All right, but yet and still you have these people that are teaching our people to lead them astray, to go into these this thought process. Oh, we got to go back to Africa. We got to go back. And our people will listen to them. It's spiritually funny, or spiritually seriously about how these things. But the Lord is showing forth. Hey, man, these are the people that's easily led astray, man. They'll Because we'll say, oh, they'll listen to Esau, but they won't listen to us. But then when they do listen to us, they listen to the ones of us, speaking as Jake. They'll listen to Jake, but it's Jake that's leading them astray. Oh, Jake say, oh, we got to go back to Africa. We tell you to rise ye and depart, spiritually and mentally from this here place. Detach yourself from this here place. Don't get too caught up with living it up here in Babylon, because it's going to destroy you if you're still trying to cleave to this here place, man. The scriptures say, hey, we are forsaken all and have followed thee. We got to forsake this here place, man. We got to detach from this here place. But then looking at Jake out here, they'll be like, oh, we got to actually arise and go back to Africa. Well, who the fuck wants you in Africa? And where you going to go in Africa at, man? All right, you forgot that these curses is going to follow you wherever you go and destroy you, man. All right, but yet and still, and also the deliverance is going to come from this here place, man. But yet and still, you got our people that are listening to Jake when they talk about things like that, but they won't listen to the true prophets of the Lord, man. But nevertheless, not going too far off topic. Going back to verse 10, and then many shall be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Jumping down to verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, and so, going into, matter of fact, let me come back to that, but I want to grab this in Isaiah 24 real quick. Compare that with this. This is Isaiah 24, and let's start at verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. All right, so we're coming into a time now where lamentation, mourning, and woe, the beginning of sorrows. We're coming into that point in time where things is like I was talking about earlier, man. I don't want to travel because this and that is going on. I don't want to go out because this and that's going on. I'm losing my job. I can't go out. I can't go and feed my family like I want to. Economic woes is coming into play. So all these things is turning into the American dream is turning into what? The American nightmare. It says the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. It says, therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, a few men left. And the Lord has to hit that factory reset button by pushing them nukes off, right? Verse 7, the new wine mourneth, the vine languish, all the merry hearted do sigh. So this is the beginning of sorrows, man. No, it's not really no joy out here in the world no more, man. All right, you got these people, and you have like these men going their own ways scenarios, and these women trying to be independent. You got what they call passport boys, the divestors and everything else. Nobody wanted to be with nobody, man. The love of many is really waxing cold right about now, man. All right, and even brothers are starting to hate their own brothers, and sisters starting to hate their own sisters, and parents starting to hate everybody. There's hatred towards everybody right about now, man. All right, it says the mirth of Tabret ceases, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of heart ceaseth. And so, hey, a lot of these holidays don't just hit the same way that they used to. A lot of people, for one, are breaking those spirits, but also with with the pandemic and stuff, like, a lot of people ain't trying to go out and go trick or treating. I don't know. We trying to social distance for one. Y'all can't come to my house if y'all ain't got that juicy juice. You know what I'm saying? Christmas, we ain't got no money to be buying no damn gifts anyway. You know what I'm saying? So all these things is kind of hitting different. So hey, what does it say? The mirth of Tabret ceases, the noise of them that rejoice ended, the joy of heart ceases. So all these celebrations is coming to naught. Verse 9, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. So again, a lot of this alcohol sales is going up right about now. It's all over, how they say, sorrow drinking, man. All right, despair drinking. They not drinking because they partying and turning up and celebrating. They drinking because, man, fuck, I got to go look for another job. My wife done left me. My kids did this, and so-and-so and got shot up, and Ray just got killed and everything else like that. You seen all these rappers and stuff dying, and people, relatives getting gunned down and everything else like that, man. It says there's a crying for wine in the street. Oh, verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down, and every house is shut up, and no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is dark, and the mirth of the land is gone. The city has left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. So, hey, look, going into this here place, everything is pretty much shutting down. All right, the economy is slowing down and everything else like that. So, hey, all the mirth of the land is ceasing. All this joy is gone downhill. Now, pairing that with the love of many waxing cold and everything else like that, man. Hey, when it comes into economic ties, we could grab this real quick. I'm going to close out because I wanted to touch on a couple of these articles real quick, but we'll just kind of sum it all up in one. 2nd Ezra 15 and 19, I believe. Yep. 2nd Ezra 15 and 19, it says, and a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. So now, what would make a man spoil their neighbor's house, all right, with the sword, all right? A lack of resources, lack of bread, and for great tribulation, right? Hard times, all right? Economic woes, things is getting bad out here, right? So now, that will cause you to go up in your neighbor's house for food. But think about this, when you have bad economic times is going on, all right, you have scenarios like, you have scenarios that's going on where people are just, how they say, when you lose everything, you're more likely to lose it, go postal and everything else like that. That's where they get that term from. But look at the things that's going on right about now. And I was making a statement to somebody else the other day, like, hey man, the only people that got time to be doing all this here, was talking about like the terrorist bomb that happened, and was it Turkey or whatever? Like, man, a lot of that stuff be set up, man. Most broke people be, too broke to be planning, plotting, doing some shit like this. I'm like, if I got time to sit here and build a goddamn bomb, I got time to go get my money up to go get my groceries and things like that. I ain't got time for this bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here just trying to keep the damn lights on and everything else like that. I ain't got time to be, fuck, I'm gonna get this stuff from anyway. If I can afford this, then I can afford groceries. If I can afford groceries, I ain't really be trying to, I got time to be making no shit like that, man. The hell y'all talking about, bro? Like, when you look at regular people, man, most people out here, but then on a lower level, people go postal and stuff like that because they done lost their last little resources and their jobs and everything else like that. You see a man, he done lost his job and come home and his wife wound up leaving him and everything. And then at that point, he done lost everything financially. You've broken that man. And at that point in time, that's when he probably going to shoot up his wife and the house and everything else like that. So, hey, this is when these things start to happen, man. But then you also see crime. Look at the hood and the projects. Whenever you strip it bare of the resources and jobs and things, that's when crime rates start going up. And so, hey, you starting to see a lot of this crime going on. The love of many waxing cold. Just seen it in the news the other day. The rapper Young Dolph, they done found somebody else connected to his murder. All right, and they said this dude, I don't know if they caught him or he on the run or whatever. That wasn't the important part of the story, but they had said, that this somebody connected to this man, all right, or I guess it was the guy who set up the murder of Young Dolph. They said that his daughter wound up getting killed. His daughter was a rapper. She wound up getting killed out there in Houston, right? Now, and I was reading through the comment sections, and people who be into that type of stuff or whatever, they know the business. They said that homegirl wound up getting killed on her father's birthday. So the karma of that, they was like, damn, they waited all the way until his birthday came back around, so he'll never have a good birthday again. But you think about this, man, they wound up killing Young Dolph for whatever reason, no man perish being innocent. But then, we got these spirits created for vengeance, but, he wound up getting killed off, and then the person who wound up setting him up to get killed off, his daughter wound up getting killed off on his birthday. You know what I'm saying? And, here's another story right here. You have, here's a different terrorist attack, a blast rock Jerusalem. All right. Multiple fatalities in a Walmart mass shooting. All right. You just had a stabbing or a shooting out there in, I believe it was Colorado at the Pride, one of them little clubs and scenarios type things. All right. So you got all this so-called killing and dealing and people just judgment going forth left and right, whether it's your favorite rappers, shit, your boy name was Takeoff, just got killed, right? Now, after he done died, I think it was 2 or 3 more other, singers or people that done died after him. It was like he died, and then that boy, Aaron Carter or Nick Carter, one of them done died of like an overdose or some shit like that. Then after that, they had this other little R&B singer who I don't really know who wound up dying after that. And they wound up dying after that. And then all of a sudden you had, you wound up having, I don't know who is this R&B singer. Some R&B singer just wound up dying as well too. But nevertheless, you had these people that just wound up dying and everything else like that in consecutive order in less than a month. All these little R&B and rappers and all these different folks like that. But look, judgment is going forth. All right. So, hey, going into these things, you have to understand that the fact of the matter that the Lord is not playing right now, man. All right. The love of many is waxing cold. People killing up people. All right. Then you also have the fact of the matter of, people just getting judged in massive, whether it be terrorist attacks or just massive killing sprees and things like that, man, these spirits created for vengeance is definitely going forth. All right. So, hey, we see that all these things are taking place. We see that all these things are shaping up to show us that we're at the times of the end. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I'm going to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and every will. And citation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.